afternoon. I hope you're well today and having a good one. This afternoon, I'm going to talk about the mindset that changed my life. Um, my old mindset, I have agoraphobia to a degree and social anxiety, and it was hampering my life quite a bit at one time. But I don't really like people, and I don't like going amongst people because it is such an ordeal and such an anxiety causing thing. And so my way of handling my agoraphobia and my social anxiety was to lean into it, to give into it, to isolate, to stay in my apartment as much as possible, have as few people come here. And I was well on my way to or had the goal of I want to be a hermit and then I will be fine. And when COVID came along, that was a bit of a godsend for me because then people got off my back about getting out more, making friends, socializing. People said the opposite: stay home, don't have people in, blah blah. So I did enjoy COVID when it first occurred and all the isolating stuff was happening. But then at a certain point, I I think it was about a year ago or so. I don't think it's been a full 2 years, but at least a or maybe it has been over a year. I'm not sure. It's been a while now, but not a really long time. That I read an article that said that isolation increases depression or causes depression. It can cause depression or aggravate depression. And it was a good article. I'm not good at remembering details. I just remember it was very factual and very convincing that in its argument why this was not good, that we need interactions with people and certain things. And so I read this article and thought, well, that's enough of that because I suffer from depression badly enough. I don't need to do things to make it worse. And if isolation makes depression a lot worse, then we're not going to be isolating anymore. And around the same time, I was also sick and tired or frustrated with living in fear, being so anxious around people, so anxious about going out, so anxious about everything, and being afraid. And I have PTSD and I have PTSD symptoms. And so I was sick and tired of being afraid from sounds. Anytime there was any noise in the hall, I would have panic attacks or maybe not a full-blown attack, but I would have to go through having fear and being terrified as if somebody was after me when nothing was going on. It was just people in the hall. Or if I heard noises at night, I suffer from night terrors when I hear things at night and I think whatever is coming after me. And I was tired of being afraid. And so I decided enough isolation and I'm not going to be afraid anymore. So I basically opened my door. I started going, I live in an apartment building and I went down and sat outside to get sun to help treat my anxiety, my seasonal affective disorder, winter depression. Sun is good for me. The more light I get, the better my mood is going to be. So to help my depression, I was going outside and I was socializing with the people that were coming by or sitting and talking with me and things like that. I wasn't actively trying to make friends, but I wasn't fighting against it either. I was being as friendly as I could and talking to as many people as I could. Turns out I don't want to be friends with a lot of people in my building necessarily. Being casual acquaintances is fine, but I haven't met anybody that I wanted to be long-term friends with at this time yet. But it got me out more and more, and simply by deciding not to be afraid and challenging, I can go to my appointments now. It's not nearly as difficult. It used to be a big process of trying to get myself psyched up to go somewhere. And instead, I've had the mindset, I'm not afraid, I'm not going to be afraid, and I'm going to do this. And that has worked with my going out. I've only had a few incidents when I've been out in public. If there's been too many people or things have gone wrong, I have had a couple of meltdowns. But for the most part, I'm calm when I'm out and about. I can go downstairs when there's an event. I don't participate in most of the events, but one of my uh, acquaintances here passed away and they had a get together for her downstairs. I went down there and the room was full and I was fine. Um, Granted, I was to the side a little bit, but I was not freaking out or having any kind of anxiety. So I have improved very much just from that influence of changing my mind and how I was going to approach my anxiety and my agoraphobia, that I'm going out in the world. I don't participate in big get-togethers. I haven't challenged it. You're not going to catch me at the mall or at a rave or a big party. Big party. I mean, I go to family functions with a lot of people or things like that. But I've improved so much with not being afraid. I don't get night terrors very much. I can hear noises and not get terrified or freak out if there's shouting in the hall. I don't necessarily get a panic attack or things like that. So it's come a long way and has had quite an influence on me, because if I find out I'm doing something that makes my depression worse or causes depression, then I'm going to try to not do it, because I have enough of that. I've had enough of that and I'm tired of living afraid. And so I'm doing everything I can to not be afraid and to challenge myself and do it. Do it even if you're scared, do it anyway. And I've been trying to live by that. So I am a work in progress, but I have made progress. And goodbye for today and have a good weekend. Thank you.